You know, the problem I have with Sowore would have been the only guy that you cannot hijack his party. But the problem we have is that you know him playing sanctimonious game that he's the most righteous and all that. If we can have somebody like Sowore saying AAC, for instance, it will be, let's do this thing. I can tell you, nobody will penetrate.
The opposition in Nigeria needs to unite. And without the unification of the opposition, the current administration will remain in power and the APC government will continue to be in power for as long as they continue to distract the opposition. Let's watch this video.
So recently, the Edo State governor made a comment perceived as threats against Peter Obi. What's your take on that, especially looking at the intolerance that the APC is displaying?
That's Peter Obi's problem with the Edo State governor. They are all the same.
But it affects you as an opposition.
It doesn't affect me because if I want to go anywhere, let them come and stand in my way. They can't. They threaten people, they can threaten, not us. They know that. When we say we are coming to the police headquarters, the police issued a statement threatening us that we cannot come here. Are we not here today?
We are here.
So, I don't want to be distracted by all those side talks about if the governor of Edo State threatens me, we will take people down there and dethrone him as the governor of the state. When the people are talking, when they take over the street, all oppressors will run away.
Before I continue, please share this video to reach a larger audience, as well as subscribe if you're new. Thank you. Let's go ahead. Now, Sowore made this comment when the governor of Edo State threatened Mr. Peter Obi from visiting the state.
To him, there is a new sheriff in town. He cannot come to Edo without telling me, because his security will never be guaranteed. Whatever happens to him when he's in Edo State, he will take it. I am serious about it.
And you've heard what he said already. Now he is in the nets of the Nigerian police, or as many may say, that he went to visit his good friends at the Nigerian police office, the force headquarters. Now, we've seen pictures and images flying around how he has been beaten, tortured at the force headquarters, his nose broken, hand broken, and all of that. And Nigerians are now calling on the Nigerian police, saying that why will you go ahead to arrest Sowore, who is fighting for your people whom are not paid properly? And some Nigerian police officers were there. They are the one torturing the man who is fighting for those people who just retired, forgetting the fact that they one day retired, and there will be Sowore or no Sowore to protest for them at that time when they will be demanding for their own payment as well. But then Peter Obi now, in reaction to all of this, now you see, this is where 2027 will get interesting, right? This is where it will get interesting, and we're coming close to that point. Now, Peter Obi wrote on his verified Twitter handle, and he said that on the arrest of Omoloye Sowore, I was deeply disturbed to learn of the arrest of Mr. Sowore yesterday, shortly after the voluntary honor and invitation by the Nigerian police force. At the time of writing, no clear or credible charge have been made public, which further cast a troubling shadow over the nature and motivation behind his detention. We all know this one. One police invites you, law, they're going to detain you. It's better for you to even run, let them look for you, than them inviting you and then you go and then they will still beat you up. But if you run and then they arrest you and beat you up, say at least you try, you dodge them small. But that's not the point, and I'm not saying you should do so. He went ahead to say his arrest, particularly under circumstances where he presented himself in good faith to law enforcement, should be condemned by all who value justice and due process. From all indication, no urgency or criminal fights risk warranted such high-handed treatment. To detain a citizen who came of his own accord without the public disclosure of clear lawful charge is not only a miscarriage of justice, but an abuse of state power. Don't be small miscarriage, but let's go on. As the ancient Greek philosopher Plato rightly said, justice in the life and conduct of the state is possible only as first it resides in the hearts and souls of the citizens. When those entrusted with power act unjustly, they poison not only the legal order but the moral consciousness of the nation. He further said, I therefore call on the Nigerian police to immediately release Sowore or charge him formally under the law. Anything short of this would be a further erosion of public trust in the nation's law enforcement institution. It is our collective duty to insist that the rule of law must apply to all citizens, regardless of ideology, background, and political alignment. P.O. What are you thinking? But before I talk again, watch this video.
Harmonious game that is the most righteous and all that. If we can have somebody like Sowore saying AAC, for instance, it will be, let's do this thing. I can tell you, nobody will penetrate because it's like he's in charge.
Sowore understands his limitations.
Because
Sowore understands that he can't be president of this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he can, I'm not saying he should run. That you know what, people
But
do.
he's running.
Nobody's party, that's what he's saying.
Use the party. Let's use
party
AAC
available.
and salvage this nation. They cannot
Sowore is not
infiltrate.
an Obi supporter. He doesn't like
No, I'm
P2B. He
only,
doesn't like the name
that's
P2B.
exactly what I'm saying. I said the kind of party that you can talk of people infiltration will be impossible. It's a party like AAC. Because there is nobody. Sowore is the one, the arrowhead. So who are you going to bribe to penetrate the party? Who are you going to inject into the party to cause a pandemonium? You know, but you know he wouldn't listen. Even a Deja Deunju advised him that, you know what, join this. He said no. But if you can come out as a P2B, let's use AAC.
So basically,
You see, the point this man is making here is one thing that I think can be possible. Yes. Remember his lawyer, Daji, won't advise him to join the coalition. Joining the coalition here is not surrendering his structure. It's like, at least go and hear them out. But he keep on saying that this is a man, Peter Obi now, referring to Peter Obi now, Sowore referring to Peter Obi now, saying this is a man who said he was going to dismantle criminality. And him dismantling this criminality, he is now back dining and whining with them. One thing I understand about Sowore is that he's this person who don't really care about who you are and where you're coming from. He just wants to make sure that yes, he is right and the cost that he is fighting for is a just cause, and he can do that alone if it means him going alone. Okay, it's almost the same thing with Peter Obi, who believe that there is no need jumping through the window to go and clean a house that you can equally pass through the door. And that's the reason why he said, if you pass through the window, you find it very difficult to sweep the house. How do you evacuate the debts that you find inside the house? And that was why he continued to insist that the right channel and due process must be followed at all costs. Looking at this carefully now, in as much as many believe, including myself at some extent, that Sowore is now being used by the APC, is something that we need to also look from the other coin. Sowore is the founder, the owner, the empire, the everything of his political party. And before you can gain access to a party, you need to hold on to who owns the party, or better still, the chairman or the executive of that political party. If Sowore is really ready to deliver this country in 2027, which he knows within himself that he running in 2027 cannot defeat Bola Ahmed Tinubu if it is just between him and Tinubu. He can't. He knows that. He can't defeat him. If every other candidate refuses to say, okay, let's just allow both of them to contest, you know he cannot beat Tinubu in 2027 without the support of others. He knows that. So why don't you say, okay, fine, let me come into this? Like there was a picture circulating at one particular time where they said, imagine Sowore being your EFCC chairman and Peter Obi as your president. Just imagine that. No, just come to think about it. You should know that even Buhari that passed on will be investigated. Yes, so he will be investigated. That is the Sowore that we are seeing, or that we know. It's not the Sowore that we don't know behind the cameras. It's not the Sowore that we don't know in his house. The Sowore that we are seeing talking. If it is that Sowore that we know, imagine him as the EFCC chairman. Let's just imagine. And somebody will sit at the comment section and be saying that, but he's not a police officer, we have ex-police. Your security advisor to the president, who is he? it must not be a police officer to handle that particular office. Yes, to my best of knowledge. I don't know the acts of the EFCC to that, to that point. So I don't want to drag issue with anybody. But however, imagine having someone like Sowore or having Sowore in their department. You have reduced corruption by what? 70%. Oh yes. You reduce corruption by 70%. If you ask me, that is Sowore we know. So Peter will be coming in now to ask for the release of Sowore, even despite that, Sowore was like, it's his business. Anything you want to do, you can do. But if not me, they don't feature that kind of nonsense with me. I'll go to Edo, which was what some of us were saying, that I think it's time Peter will do show off. But then, is it necessary? Maybe some lives will be lost and he'll be safe. So why risking people's life just to prove a point? What point are you trying to prove? No point, right? So, but looking at all of this now, it showcased that if Peter will be today and Sowore decide to work together, 2027 will be much, much easier. And for the fact that, as it stands today, Labour Party is not ready, if you ask me, under the Abure fashion. They are ready to disrupt any movement of Peter Obi within Labour Party. Peter Obi, PDP are doing their own, which we'll be talking about in the next video. And ADC is for Atiku, whether you like it or not. It's just an organization of past politicians who are not in current administration, are not favored, right? They are not doing it for the interest of Nigeria. If they are doing that coalition for the interest of Nigeria, they will yield to the call and yearning of Nigerians that Peter Obi is the right candidate. And every human being in that coalition will come up and say, it doesn't matter what APC wants. It doesn't matter who and who is here. We, the ADC coalition, all of us, we are standing. In fact, since they have started endorsing Peter Obi, Tinubu, we all are endorsing Peter Obi as our sole candidate for 2027. Just that statement coming from, David Mark, coming from their Erufai, coming from Atiku, coming from all the stakeholders in ADC, and see how they will lose control, they will lose focus. In fact, how to even steal will become a problem for them. They will now look at how, in fact, they will return back the fuel subsidy they remove immediately, just to make sure that Nigeria votes them back in 2027. They will do everything to make sure that they retain power. And even at that, they will still lose, because Nigerians will know that all these things now foul.